everybody, and welcome to Walsh Field in New Bedford. Comcast 9 Sports presents the high school football game of the week. Today, the Thanksgiving Day Classic between the New Bedford Whalers and the Durfee Hilltoppers. I'm Paul Santos, glad to have you looking in, joined alongside again by Darren Mitchell. And Darren, it's always a fun day here on Thanksgiving Day, but for the third year in a row, the weather is a little shaky.
Yeah, another rainy day here at Walsh Field, New Bedford and Durfee. Well, one big key turnover today could kill the game for either team.
Both teams coming in with similar records of 3-6, but both teams are very dangerous. Let's start with the New Bedford Whalers. A lot of players out there can get the job done, even in weather conditions like this.
Yeah, Mike Walsh, who has a tradition with the family here, with a program of New Bedford, so he'll be quarterbacking along with his running backs, Mike Jones, number 41, and Jeffrey Rose, number 45.
The Whalers are capable also of throwing the football. They did that a lot during the season, but talking to the coaching staff before the game, and probably not going to see a lot of it today because of the weather conditions.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Harry Lowe, and he said that they had two plans prepared, one for dry weather, one for the wet weather, and today, the wet weather will work out.
Good thing they will be using that one, I guess. The Durfee Hilltoppers, of course, coming in also at 3-6, but we saw them play earlier in the year, and they have some players that can put some points on the board.
Yeah, they have McDonald, the quarterback, who's looked good after coming back from a separated shoulder. They also have two good running backs and two good receivers in the Donner and Albugaria.
So we'll see what happens. It should be a fun Turkey Day Classic. It's the 113th meeting, believe it or not, between New Bedford and Durfee. Should be fun. Opening kickoff straight ahead here on Comcast 9. All set for the opening kickoff here at Walsh Field in New Bedford. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell, happy to have you here on Thanksgiving Day. New Bedford and Durfee coming in with the records of 3-6. And as you can see, Darren, we talked about it before, the weather conditions are going to be too easy to play in this today for both of these teams.
Yeah, the 50-yard line is already more than likely already wiped out with mud. So that anybody that goes in there will fall down in a puddle for sure. That's already in. The rest of the field is in pretty good condition so far, but that'll wear as the game goes on.
The Durfee Hilltoppers won the toss, but they decided to defer and kick the ball off to New Bedford. So an interesting strategy to start the game by head coach Steve Warnarski of the Durfee Hilltoppers.
Yeah, Durfee did this once before against Somerset, the game we did a few weeks ago where they had won the toss and deferred. So we'll have to see if this plays into the game today.
So we're all set for the opening kickoff of today's game. Timmy Powers, the kicker for the Durfee Hilltoppers. And we are underway, Thanksgiving Day 2006. Ball is bouncing down, and there's going to be a fair catch at about the 34-yard line. So the New Bedford Whalers will take over 1st and 10, and some pretty good field position.
Yeah, at the 43-yard line, this could be a big indicator to see how New Bedford comes out now. Whoever gets the ball first in weather conditions like this, and if a key turnover develops, this could be the game.
New Bedford's quarterback is number 7, Mike Walsh. He is a senior, and he is the 4th in a line of Walshes that have played right here for New Bedford. In fact, there's been a Walsh on this team for the last 11 years.
Yeah, they had a nice article in the Sunday edition of the paper speaking of this issue that we are talking about now.
Quick handoff, and the big guy, number 96, Kenneth Faniff, who's going to be getting a lot of playing time today, barrels ahead. He's usually a defensive lineman and a tight end, but they're going to be using him as a fullback as he barrels ahead for a gain of 3.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Harry Lowe before the game, and he said he had two plans, a dry plan and a wet plan. And as the conditions indicate, wet plan will be the area to go today.
Well, the Whalers have a lot of weapons on offense. Fullback generally Mike Jones, number 45, and also number 41, Jeff Rose, who's also one of their key running backs. But they're also using Faniff. And at this particular time, it looks like Mike Walsh calls timeout for New Bedford. So interesting second play from scrimmage, something he doesn't like.
Yeah, Durfee's defense prevented something there that Mike Walsh didn't like, so he called timeout. And like they say, timeouts, you have to use them because you can't keep them.
One thing that happened this week, unfortunately, is there are about 5 or 6 New Bedford high school players, unfortunately, academically ineligible. Very sad for those kids, very tough pill to swallow. However, the other guys are going to have to pick it up. It's certainly going to hurt New Bedford, though, today.
Yeah, it will hurt New Bedford, and it could give Durfee an edge. How much of an edge we'll have to see.
Ken Faniff is the fullback. Rose is the halfback. And you see flanked out to the left is Keith Rudolph on a 2nd down and about 7 for the Whalers. Walsh, play action, rolls right, pitches out to Rose. Jeff Rose trying to turn the corner, and he is going to be hauled down by the Durfee Hilltoppers. And that is Jason Springer getting in there to make the tackle. And that's going to create a 3rd down situation for New Bedford. Tough to turn the corner with that wet field.
Yeah, very slick conditions on the field, and if you don't have good footing, you will slide out of bounds like Jeffrey Rose did, picking up a ton of dirt.
So it'll be a 3rd down and about 5 for the New Bedford Whalers. The ball is spotted at about the 39-yard line. New Bedford starting off here with their first possession of the game. Mike Walsh, the quarterback, play action, looking to pass. Continuing to look. He is being flushed from the pocket, and the throw is incomplete. Real good job that time. The defensive tackle, Thomas Allen, number 75, was really in there hard pursuing Walsh.
Yeah, they were coming at him with some pressure, so Michael Walsh so far has already faced some pressure at the early start of this game.
So it's going to be 3 and out for New Bedford on their first possession. So head coach Steve Warnarski's strategy working to a T. Defer, give them the ball to start it out and try to get some field position.
Yeah, Coach Warnarski, nice game plan there to start off, just to get field position early and see if New Bedford can't capitalize. And so far they could not on this first possession.
So Walsh will be punting from his own 26-yard line. Snap is a little low, but he digs it out, kicks it away, heading into the direction of the 39-yard line. And being tackled right away is Robert Costa, who was a junior, 5'11", 155, really had no place to go. So the Hilltoppers have decent field position. That ball is going to be pretty close to midfield, right around the 40-yard line.
So now we'll have to see what Durfee does on their first possession. New Bedford was 0-3. We'll have to see now if Durfee can come out and get some field position, because whoever scores in this game first could be the deciding winner.
We talked about Durfee's weapons. Their quarterback, B.J. McDonald, he had a separated shoulder early on in the season. He's back again. They run the wing T formation, and it's a quick handoff the other way. That's Timmy Powers, and Powers is on the move to midfield and more. He could make it down the far sideline. He's at the 30, knocked down at the enemy 26. Tim Powers, first play from scrimmage, deep into New Bedford territory.
Well, Timmy Powers definitely makes a difference for Durfee when he's on the field. As we found out earlier that they're 4-1 with him and 1-3 without him. So there you go, with Timmy Powers running the ball, he makes a difference right away.
Great cut there by Tim Powers coming back the other way. He is a 5'10", 175-pound senior, nearly a 40-yard gain, and it puts the ball in New Bedford territory. 1st and 10 at the New Bedford Whaler 27-yard line. Quick hitter up the middle, that's going to be the fullback, number 35, Cam Ponce, a 6'1", 160-pound junior, barreling to the interior of that New Bedford Whaler line. One of the tacklers for New Bedford, Mike Murrell, the defensive lineman.
Yeah, we'll have to see now. Durfee going to pound the ball to begin with here in the first possession of Durfee's. And if they can pound it into the end zone, hey, this could be a game where it's decided right now.
B.J. McDonald leading that wing T into formation. They use the fullback, of course, Ponce. Justin Bulio is the other halfback. And it's a loose ball, and New Bedford recovers. Big turnover to start the game. Number 51 of the New Bedford Whalers falling on that ball, and that's the defensive lineman, Dan Tripp.
Yeah, we mentioned key turnovers, and already the one turnover already for Durfee. In a position where they had a chance to go up and score. That could be a big indicator as far as today's game goes.
Well, the Hilltoppers were doing much better than New Bedford had done in their first possession. They had that 40-yard run by Powers into enemy territory. A very tough time for Coach Winarski's team to cough the ball up.
An opportune time now for Durfee to cough the ball up on their first possession with a chance to go up. But now it looks like New Bedford gets the ball back, and we'll have to see what New Bedford can do.
Quarterback Mike Walsh bringing him out. New Bedford in the I formation, which is what you're going to see most of the day, running double tight too. And here's a nice run by Rose. Rose into enemy territory to the 50. And he's pulled down at the enemy 42-yard line. So the Whalers responding with a big run of their own as they are in enemy territory.
Nice run there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, just to get down the sideline after breaking it through the middle.
Well, Rose is one of those gentlemen that the New Bedford Whalers have. He's a track star and 5'10", 175-pound junior. And really accelerating quickly.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rose, as soon as he hit that hole, he was gone. Even with his, so you know he has good feeding with his cleats today, to be able to stay on the field with this muddy field.
1st and 10, New Bedford at the enemy 43-yard line. Phaneuf is the fullback, but Walsh gives it to Jeff Rose. Jeff Rose finds room up the middle, and he is finally going to be hit and brought down by Durfee's linebacker, Saroth Penn, the 5'7", 155-pound sophomore, but that was a nice run by number 41, Jeff Rose.
Yeah, so far Jeff Rose having no problem with this field condition today of New Bedford here at Walsh Field.
Whalers always seem to have those quick tailbacks, and Rose certainly fits the bill.
Yeah, he's a good tailback. They also have many tailbacks, Kyle Veal too, but he is out today.
Matt St. Jean and Shane Mendonca are the wideouts. Phaneuf and Rose are behind quarterback Mike Walsh. Walsh with a handoff to Rose. Rose pushing forward, and he's going to be close to the first down. Let's see if he gets it. Some pretty good blocking up front there by New Bedford's offensive line. Warren Roderick, Christopher Grande, Cam Robita, tackled Josh Ngaya. They're making some nice holes for Rose, and he gets the first down.
Yeah, so far early in this game, we've seen more ball control, which you would expect in conditions like this. So far it's been ball control and pounding ball.
So New Bedford in business now, another first down. That's their second of the day. This is their second possession. First possession was 3 and out, but after the turnover, their second possession, they're moving the football as they give the ball to big number 96, and that's Ken Phaneuf. He worked as a defensive lineman and a tight end, but he's getting the football today, and he barrels ahead for a gain of 5. Hey, if you can get 5 from the fullback, you can march down the field like that.
Yeah, with number 96 trying a different position today, he shows that he's multi-talented with playing defense and now offense.
So the ball is in Durfee Hilltopper territory, 2nd and 6. The ball is at the 27-yard line. Mendonca is the wide out to the left. Again, you have St. Jean to the right, and this time it's Phaneuf. Phaneuf barreling ahead, getting some good blocking from number 95, Gred Heilkert. And he does appear to be short of the first down, however, so it'll be a 3rd and short for New Bedford as they continue to pound the ball to the interior.
Yeah, if you're Durfee, if you can't stop the run in the conditions like this with rain, then you have no chance in this game.
So we have a timeout on the field, 6:07 to go here in the first quarter. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell, happy to have you looking in here on Comcast 9. And I'm not going to start talking about food already in the first quarter. Every year it's the same thing, Darren. I watch the football game and I enjoy it, but I'm already thinking about the turkey.
Yeah, especially like doing a game on Thanksgiving. That always is in the back of your mind, like when is this game going to be done so we can go home and eat turkey.
But in the meantime, we're going to be entertained, and I think these guys out here today, especially the seniors, a very special occasion. It's really too bad that we have the rainy weather, but looking around the field, considering what we have, a lot of people are out here braving the conditions.
Yeah, you got to give these folks credit for braving the conditions, and especially Durfee coming from Fall River, and their bleachers look like somewhat packed, and New Bedford's is packed too, and most people have umbrellas, so you can see they're braving the elements.
So New Bedford Whalers at that timeout. Let's see what they're going to do here on this 3rd down and 2. The ball at the Durfee Hilltopper 23-yard line. A big point in the game. The Whalers still running that I formation. They have Phaneuf and Rose directly behind quarterback Mike Walsh. St. Jean is the man in motion, and they give it to Rose, and Rose looks like he should have the first down as he barrels over the left side of that offensive line. One of the tacklers for the Durfee Hilltoppers, the outside linebacker Bob Costa, but it is enough for a New Bedford first down.
Yeah, nice short gain there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, just to get enough, and he got enough for the first down, so New Bedford will continue to move it on the ground.
Field conditions like this really don't need to go to trickery. Just go right at him with your skill position guy.
Yeah, on conditions like this, just pound it with a run, and if Durfee can't stop it, then they're not going to have much of a shot.
Whalers continuing to run the I formation on the first down. Rose turns left, and he's going to be pulled down from behind by number 80, Corey Albagaria. He's a cornerback, and pretty good idea there by Rose. He started to go up the middle, then all of a sudden cut left, but the defense was not fooled.
Yeah, I think in conditions like this, you'd rather just go straight forward, to try to make any sudden movement, especially on the field that's wet. You could lose footing, which Jeffrey Rose did there for a loss of yardage.
They'll mark that as a loss of 5, so it's a 2nd down and 15. The ball is now at the Durfee Hilltopper 25-yard line. 0-0 is the score. Durfee and New Bedford on Thanksgiving Day. Quarterback Walsh, play action. Walsh is rolling out. tucks it under, wants to run. He does. Turns the corner, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. So that's going to be a pretty decent gain. It's going to get back a chunk of the yardage, but it's still going to be a third down and pretty long for New Bedford.
Yeah, so you see Mike Walsh there on his athletic ability, able to roll out to the right and take it for a short gain, but, somewhat of a gain, just to give New Bedford more field position.
4:33 to go here in the first quarter. Durfee and New Bedford 0-0 here in the Thanksgiving Day Classic, 113th meeting between these two teams. And right now, New Bedford in a third down and 10 situation. The ball is at the Durfee Hilltopper 20-yard line. This is really the biggest threat so far for either team to try to get into the end zone. Rail is continuing to do the I formation, double tight end, power I. And it's a handoff this time to Rudolph, number 5, as he comes out of that power I with the two tight ends. And Durfee Hilltoppers reading it pretty well as defensive tackle Jonathan Sanchez makes the tackle.
And New Bedford strictly on this possession here, power running and ball control offense, and so far they're having success with it as they're moving it into the Durfee territory.
Interesting to see what they call here on the 4th down and 9 from the 20-yard line. This is where the Whalers usually put the ball in the air, but whether they'll do it here, we don't know.
Yeah, they're not attempting for any field goal either, so we'll have to see if this plan works out.
So 4th and 9 from the 19. Whalers, of course, going for it deep in enemy territory. Walsh rolling to his left. Looking downfield, throws it up in the air, and it's going to be caught. It's caught by Rose. It was intended for one of the other receivers, but Rose stays with it and brings the ball in. Intended for Faniff. Still not going to be enough for the first down, but pretty good concentration there.
Yeah, nice concentration there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, just to make that catch after it bounced off New Bedford receiver's attended hands and right into his hands.
Number 96, Kenneth Faniff, he's the fullback, but that time he went out in the flat to give Walsh some decisions, some options out there, but the Durfee Hilltoppers end up with the ball on downs. It's 1st and 10. Tough field position, though, as the Hilltoppers are at their own 16-yard line. Quick handoff. That's going to be the tailback. Tailback has no place to go. That's actually number 35, Cam Ponce. Minimal gain by him.
Yeah, we'll have to see now, Durfee, on this possession here, how well they move the ball, and they should be giving the ball again to Timmy Powers because he had a big run in that first series for Durfee.
They'll mark that as a 2-yard gain, so it's 2nd down and 8. Durfee at their own 18-yard line as the quarterback, B.J. McDonald's, calls signals. B.J., quick handoff, and that's going to be number 34, Brian Veloza. Actually, it's Bulio, number 24, Justin Bulio. He's the tailback. Again, minimal gain. Again, it's going to be the battle of the interior.
A nice shot run there by number 24, Justin Bulio.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 7 from the 19. So even though Durfee has the ball, they have to start moving the ball or else New Bedford will get the ball back in midfield. B.J. McDonald, play action, throws, and it is going to be incomplete. Corey Albigario was one of the guys looking to bring it in. Also, you see right there, Cam Ponce, generally the fullback, couldn't bring it in. So it looks like the Hilltoppers are going to have to punt the ball away.
So New Bedford will get the ball now, you would think, in good field position at midfield, depending on the punt of Durfee.
See our camera getting a little wet. Every once in a while you may see our camera guy just get a little swipe across the screen, but that's what it takes. We'll have to deal with it. This is the 3rd year in a row we've had these weather conditions, unfortunately. There it goes. Okay, we can live with that. So the Hilltoppers looking to do that little free kick. They're standing there looking as if they're going for it on a 4th and 7 from the 19, but the plan is to get the ball over to Powers and have Powers punt it away.
Yeah, we'll have to see now with this confusion now, a flag on the play. We'll have to see if this is a delay of game.
It's like an extra player on the field, and that's going to move the ball back. So they're going to be punting from an even more difficult location.
Yeah, you given New Bedford good field position, we would think at midfield, providing Timmy Powers punt here. We'll have to see how good of a punt he gets off to try to pin New Bedford back further than what they are.
Give it out to Tim Powers. Powers punts it away, end over end. bounces down to about the 50-yard line, gets past Jeff Rose, and will come to rest at about the 41-yard line where the New Bedford Whalers will take over. So considering how deep they were, that was a very successful punt by Tim Powers to get it that far into New Bedford territory.
Yeah, nice punt there by Timmy Powers where you have the New Bedford player standing at midfield and it goes back 10 more yards to the 40-yard line. So nice job there by Timmy Powers to try to pin New Bedford back even further.
0-0 is our score, 1:46 to go here in the first quarter. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell bringing this game to you from New Bedford High School, from Paul Walsh Field. Glad to have you looking in as we pass the Thanksgiving holiday, head into the big holiday season. As you're watching this replay, we're heading into the holidays, and that's when things really get hectic, Darren. Quick handoff to Faneuf. The big guy goes straight up the middle, right up the gut, as they say. The tackle by Bob Costa, the junior, 5'11", 155. So maybe 3 or 4 yards as we continue to have the north and south game here between New Bedford and Durfee.
Yeah, tradition right now for New Bedford and Durfee's game plan is pound the ball, ball control, and run the ball, and that's probably what they're doing in conditions like this.
Farland is wide to the right, St. Jean to the left. We have Faneuf and Rose behind the quarterback. Quick handoff, no. It goes to Rose, and Rose is going to be tackled deep in the defensive backfield. And that looks like Springer making the stop for the Hilltoppers.
So that'll be a loss of 6 yards there for number 41, Jeffrey Rose. So we'll have to see now New Bedford. You know, since he's going to the left, it doesn't seem like a smart idea on his part to run left way. Maybe he should go up the middle because Durfee looks like they're kind of thin up the middle.
So this will be a 2nd down and 11. The ball's at the 40-yard line. Good idea there. New Bedford trying a little razzle-dazzle, but they ended up in the loss of some yardage that time. So Mike Walsh, the quarterback, calling signals. That's Matt St. Jean moving. Play action. Walsh, one of the better passes in the area. Gets it in the air. It was intended for Rose, but he overthrows it. And we do have a late flag after the play.
Yeah, we'll have to see if this is a holding or unnecessary roughness. Could be a penalty foul.
Okay, an eligible man downfield. So what'll happen here is you're going to have a situation where perhaps it'll be declined. And we only have 17 seconds left here in the quarter.
Yeah, so penalty against New Bedford, so this will pin them back. There you see Coach Golden talking to number 7, Michael Walsh.
So we'll see what the decision is going to be right here. I would think that you would decline and make them punt the ball away, and that's what they're going to do. It'll be 4th and 11. So the Hilltoppers will get the ball back. As we said, only 17 seconds left here in the first quarter. And in these kinds of conditions, those are the kinds of things that tend to happen.
Yeah, especially, you know, trying to hold on to the ball, trying to get a good grip, you know, to throw it. You know, very slick ball with a wet field and, you know, muddy field. So conditions like this, you have to try to use ball control and be conservative.
Going to be Walsh punting from his own 30-yard line. Powers is the gentleman back deep. And he's not going to take any chances as he lets the ball die right there at the 30-yard line. On the coverage for New Bedford, Rich Lopez on special teams. So Durfee gets the ball back with just 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
So pretty much ball control first quarter for both sides between Durfee and New Bedford. So we'll have to see now going into the second quarter if more than likely it'll be more of the same.
So 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers. The ball spotted at their own 30-yard line. 0-0 here. Glad to have you looking in here on Comcast 9. And B.J. McDonald with the quick hitter. That's going to be Tim Powers, number 11. He gets past Walsh. Eventually tackled in the defensive backfield. Looks like number 93 was one of the tacklers for New Bedford, Mike Murrell.
Yeah, nice run there by Timmy Powers. You can see what a difference maker Timmy Powers is for the Durfee running game of the Hilltoppers.
So that's the end of the first quarter. New Bedford and Durfee at 0-0. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell, glad to have you looking in on Comcast 9. We had a chance to talk to New Bedford assistant coach Harry Lowe prior to the game, and we had a laugh with him because during the course of the week they could see the weather forecast coming up, And they actually came up with different game plans depending on what kind of weather conditions they were going to have.
Yeah, New England weather, you know, it can change on a dime. So therefore, Coach Harry Lowe and his staff had 2 game plans, one for wet weather and one for dry weather. And today, wet weather is won out with the conditions, as you can see, people in the stands with the umbrellas and bundled up for good safety to try to keep from getting wet.
So what happens to the dry weather game plan? Is that just kind of thrown in the garbage for this week?
That could be thrown off the back burner unless, of course, this rain lightens up and they are able to throw. But right now, it looks like you're pretty much going to see ball control offense.
See the cheerleaders there with that kind of plastic baggy look. We saw them getting ready to go on the field before, and they were having a good laugh putting on the a plastic bag outfit. But you really can't blame them. It's a nice see-through outfit, so you can see the NB and hey, you got to do what you got to do on a day like this.
You know, we are lucky to be inside here at the booth here at Walsh Field. You know, being outside in this rainy weather today, not an ideal situation.
So, second quarter action about to begin. 2nd down and 3 for the Durfee Hilltoppers, and B.J. McDonald, quick hitter to Cam Ponce. He's the fullback, but he's going to be stacked up again. Mike Murrell, that big defensive tackle, getting in there to make that tackle along with one of the other defensive backs for New Bedford.
Yeah, we'll have to see now, Durfee now, if they're going to go strictly, if the B.J. McDonald will attempt to throw it, or if they're going to continue running the ball with Timmy Powers and Justin Bullia.
Well, it's a 3rd down and short, so this is something that, if you're a head coach, Steve Winarski, this is something you figure, hey, we got to make this right here.
Yeah, you have to try to make it, try to keep the ball out of New Bedford's hands as much as possible. Try to get an early advantage here.
You see B.J. McDonald out of the wing T formation, very quick count, trying to barrel over his offensive line. You see Patrick Robinson, the offensive guard, trying to create a hole, and he does create enough of a hole for McDonald to get the 1st down.
Yeah, if you're Durfee, you want to try to get a quick score to go up either 3-0 or 7-0, just to give New Bedford something to think about. And obviously, you know, if whoever gets the early advantage here could win this game.
The Hilltoppers won the Thanksgiving Day matchup last year 12-7, looking to make it 2 in a row. It's been a long time since that's happened. B.J. McDonald with Tim Powers. Tim Powers gets the ball, turns the corner, and he was hit first by New Bedford's number 44, Christopher Swire. He was the gentleman that really slowed him down, and then some of the other tacklers coming in after to make the stop on the very tricky runner, Tim Powers.
Yeah, Timmy Powers, very small and very elusive. You know, he's quick and he has the footing to keep his balance up on this field today, which is a muddy field and wet due to the conditions of the rain.
So no gain that time. 2nd down and 10. Ball is at the 40-yard line. 2nd quarter just underway. Durfee and New Bedford at 0-0 here on Comcast 9. B.J. McDonald coming out of the huddle. He has Powers, he has Bulio, he has Cameron Ponce. Quick double handoff, and that's going to be Bulio on the reverse to the 50, into enemy territory at the 40. Knocked down at the 38-yard line. Quick double handoff reverse to Bulio. And very nice execution that time by the Hilltoppers offense.
So, Paul, you had mentioned earlier about trickery, and there you see it right there with Timmy Powers handing it off to Justin Bullia for that huge gain to the left side to take it at the 40-yard line for Durfee.
So Durfee's had a couple of explosions here, a couple of big runs so far. We'll see if it'll lead to pay dirt this time.
Yeah, Durfee's got 2 good running backs in Timmy Powers and Justin Bullia, along with a good fullback in number 35, Cameron Ponce.
Out of the wing T. And this time it's going to be Cam Ponce. Cam Ponce hit right away by Swire again. And some help from Giovanni Nunez out of the cornerback position. So minimal gain that time for Durfee.
Yeah, nice attempt there by Cameron Ponce just to try to push forward and get as much yardage as he can with the field conditions like this. Both teams now, you can see their uniforms are starting to get a little muddier with the conditions on the field.
2nd down and 10 for Durfee's offense. Durfee and New Bedford deadlocked at 0-0 here in the 2nd quarter. Usually end up with these low-scoring kind of games where you're looking at one score can make the difference.
Yeah, one score, one key turnover could be the difference in a game like this, especially with the field the way it is and the weather the way it's coming down with rain.
This time it's going to be B.J. McDonald running the option at the 30, at the 20, and he's going to be knocked down by Walsh near the enemy 15-yard line. So that's going to be a 20-yard gain or so for B.J. McDonald, running the option beautifully and really picking up speed around the side.
Yeah, there you go. B.J. McDonald showing his athletic ability, going to the left side and getting a huge gain, take it there at the 20-yard line.
B.J. McDonald, he's the quarterback, 5'8", 165-pound senior, has Durfee knocking on the door midway through the second quarter in a 0-0 game where one score may stand up. Hilltoppers now with two wideouts to the left, back in the I formation. McDonald, play action. No, he actually hands it off to Tim Powers. Tim Powers is pulled down from behind by Rich Lopez, the linebacker for New Bedford. Gains a couple, though, on the play.
Yeah, New Bedford's defense seems like now they're keying in on number 11, Timmy Powers of Durfee, to try to contain him. But meanwhile, you still have B.J. McDonald to worry about, along with number 24, Justin Bullier.
2nd down and 7 for Durfee. Has the ball now in the red zone, as they say, at the 14-yard line. We'll see if the Hilltoppers are able to get in. They come out again with, this time, a 2 wide receiver formation and the I. And it's going to be Cam Ponce. Cam Ponce only picks up a couple that time. One of the tacklers for New Bedford, number 51, Dan Tripp, who recovered a fumble earlier on in the game.
Nice short game there by number 35, Cameron Ponce, just to gain some yardage out of it.
So a 3rd down and 7, they have a big gain, and then it seems like after that it's all small gains one at a time after that.
Yeah, now you're seeing more, ball control, more conservative approach. So we'll have to see now if they can cash it in here with a touchdown.
3rd down and 5 for Durfee, and we have a timeout on the field, and this time it is going to be called by the New Bedford Whalers, and they do not want the Hilltoppers to find the end zone.
Yeah, we'll have to find out now if Durfee's going to, if they can't cash it in, do they go for a field goal? I mean, Timmy Powers, the field goal kicker in these muddy conditions. Does he feel confident, Coach Winoski, in going with his star running back, also kicker, to try to get 3 points on the board?
It's a weapon that the Hilltoppers have used during the course of the season in New Bedford. As a gentleman by the name of Carlos Fernandez, we saw him kick a couple of field goals earlier on in the season, and that can be a big weapon. You don't see that a lot with high school teams, to be able to kick a field goal, but even if you have the weapons, today is a tough day to pull that off. Head coach Steve Winiarski at the helm of this Durfee Hilltopper team. Dennis Golden, the head coach, I should say, for this New Bedford Whaler team. Both teams coming in 3-6, but they can make up for some of those earlier season defeats by knocking off the rival on Thanksgiving Day, which pretty much wipes out the rest of the season. Again, we have an I formation, 3rd down and 5 for Durfee. Ball at the New Bedford 12-yard line. It is going to be McDonald. McDonald pitches out. This is going to be Powers. Powers turns the corner. Can he get into the end zone? He does. Touchdown! A 12-yard run for Powers, and the Hilltoppers have drawn first blood. They take a 6-0 lead.
So nice run there by number 11, Timmy Powers. Breaks to the right side, gets into the end zone for the score. And Durfee goes up 6-0 here in the second quarter at Walsh Field in New Bedford. So nice run there by Timmy Powers just to keep his feet, going forward and get the touchdown. So Durfee with the early advantage here.
Powers, number 11, running back, 5'10", 175-pound senior. Was one of the weapons that the coaches were talking about before the game. And the ball will be kicked off to the left of your screen there. And they're having a little bit of a problem. Now they're looking to make a pass. The ball is lobbed into the end zone and is caught. Corey Albagaria finds himself open in the end zone. And now we have a discussion amongst the officials.
It looked like there was some kind of a flag on the field, but maybe not.
That was a broken play. Ineligible man downfield again, this time against Durfee, so that's going to nullify the 2-point conversion for the moment. But, you had the tough snap with the rainy conditions, and the holder just lofted it into the end zone. That was a pretty good heads-up play. Unfortunately for the Hilltoppers, it's coming back.
Yeah, nice heads-up play there by Durfee there on the trickery there to try to get, the 2-point conversion out of it. Unfortunately not, with the referee making the call.
You can see the rain continuing to come down here. Tim Powers is going to try to line up. And let's see if they're going to. Right.
Yeah,
So head coach Steve Winarski taking a good timeout right there, as he wants to make sure that he can add to this 6-0 lead. Do you go for the extra point, and do you go for the 2-point conversion now that you're even farther back?
Yeah, Coach Winarski there on the field there with his players, trying to get them on the same page here, whether they're going to go for an extra point or they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. But right now, being back this far, you'd probably think that they would go with the extra point. You want to go with the surest thing, and try to give yourself that much of an advantage.
Head coach Steve Winarski of the Durfee Hilltoppers in the huddle, making a decision as to what the strategy is going to be. The only score of the game happening just a moment ago, and Tim Powers from his tailback position out of the wing tee, taking it into the corner of the end zone from 12 yards out to give the Hilltoppers the 6-0 lead. B.J. McDonald is the holder, so he's the quarterback, and Timmy Powers is the gentleman trying to kick the extra point. He's pretty far back at about the 15-yard line. This kick is not going to make it to the goalposts, so it didn't really make it close at all, but understandable given the conditions. But the Hilltoppers on the bright side, from their point of view, have the 6-0 lead.
Yeah, with the field conditions like this, you can see that kick didn't make it. So, the field conditions are already playing a part early into this game here in the second quarter with 6:12 remaining.
So we have 6:12 to go here in the second quarter, 6-0 in favor of the Durfee Hilltoppers. And take a look at that New Bedford sideline. Bill Sabatino got the short straw as he gets to be outside with the camera. And actually, we were talking about being outside. If it was a beautiful day like one of the other games that we did early in the season, we actually like being out in the midst of the crowd. Makes it a little bit different. But as soon as I got the weather forecast, I said, hey, Phil, sorry, pal, put us in a booth.
Yeah, poor Phil, but Phil doing a good job so far with us here at Walsh Field, filming this game today.
Well, Jeff Rose is one of the players back deep for the New Bedford Whalers, along with Isaiah Arola. And the ball is going to be kicked off by Powers again from his own 40-yard line, going in the direction of Rose. But he's going to pick it up at about the 21-yard line. A couple of moves, and he's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. And the Hilltoppers, some pretty good pursuit there on special teams as number 64 gets down there, Justin Santos, to make the stop.
Yeah, you can see in this game today, running the ball for both teams and special teams are going to play huge parts in deciding who wins this game. And right now, Durfee with the early advantage, 6-0.
So the Whalers take over first and 10. They'll put that ball at the 30-yard line. Durfee leading 6-0 on the Tim Powers 12-yard touchdown run. Whalers coming out in the I formation with two wideouts. It's going to be a quick hitter up the middle to Ken Faniff. Gets about the 37-yard line maybe, so that's a pretty good gain. Give him about 6 on that. Hey, if your fullback can pound away and get 6, that's what he's designed to do.
Yeah, you want your fullback to give you as much yardage as he can, and on that possession he did right there with a nice gain up the middle by Kenneth Faniff.
He's a big guy using all that power, which is what happens a lot of times in games like this. It becomes a power game. And when you have a guy like that to balance out the tailback of Rose, makes for good balance. Here comes Rose. Rose crosses the 40-yard line. And that's going to be good enough for a first down, a gain of 5. So move the chains for the team in red.
Yeah, if you can see New Bedford's game plan right now, trying to match Durfee's score, pound the ball on the ground, try to pound it right into the end zone.
First and 10, ball at the 41-yard line, 5:16 and counting here in the first half. Get a good look at Jeff Rose right there. He's the tailback, number 41. And is he going to get the football? He does. He's into enemy territory. Well, just short of enemy territory, but he's at the 45-yard line. And that's a gain of about 6, so another nice run for the tailback.
Yeah, nice run there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, just to keep his feet moving forward and trying to get as much yardage as he can, trying to give New Bedford now a chance to tie up the score.
Before the game started, they had a tarp that was just around the 50-yard line, because you can see right there on your screen, they're getting to the swampy area in the middle of Walsh Field.
Yeah, that right in the middle of the field there, it's all like a big, huge puddle of mud. So obviously that field has been worn pretty well this year.
Back in the I formation, hand off to Jeff Rose. Rose over right tackle into enemy territory this time. He'll have enough for the first down as he gets down to about the 47-yard line. Got a little blocking from the fullback, Faniff.
It's a nice run there again by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, going to the right side and getting as much yardage as he can. And if you're Durfee, if you can't stop the run, you might give New Bedford a chance here to score.
Durfee leads 6-0. 4:10 and counting here in the second quarter. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell coming to you from Walsh Field in New Bedford. Whalers continue to use the two wide-out formation as Faniff and Rose are directly behind quarterback Walsh. Walsh gives it to Rose. This time Walsh is going to be hauled down from behind as getting in there to make the stop, Thomas Allen.
A nice handoff there by number 7, Michael Walsh, to 41, Jeffrey Rose, to try to get a short yardage out of it. And we'll have to see now with New Bedford's game plan now. You know, Durfee already has one turnover. Is this going to affect Durfee even though they're ahead 6-0? We'll have to see if New Bedford can pound it in now.
Second down and 7, 3:25 and counting here in the second quarter. Walsh, handoff this time to Rose. Well, Rose picks up a couple yards that time. As New Bedford's Ken Faniff also playing defense, coming up to make the tackle for New Bedford.
So far between Ken Faniff and Jeffrey Rose, they've been the two that have been receiving the bulk of the carries for the Whalers today here at Walsh Field.
Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell here in the broadcast booth at Walsh Field. We're on the second level. We're looking through windows that are rain-drenched and trying to make sense of it all. Walsh, quick handoff to Faniff, the fullback. Again, he's going to be brought down from behind, but he does have enough for a first down as he does get in past the first down marker, just enough to get the first.
Yeah, nice short gain there by number 96, Kenneth Faniff, just to get some yardage out of it.
Time continues to come off the clock here with 2:28, and now we have a timeout being called as they move the chains, but now the clock is winding again. 2:23 and counting. As you see, Walsh, number 7, talking to his head coach, Dennis Golden. That's Dennis Golden at the bottom of your screen with the towel. Can't blame him there. First and 10. Mike Walsh. Hand off to Rose. Rose goes over tackle. Well, that was a good job that time. Good run that time by Rose.
Yeah, nice run there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, powering his way through the middle of the field there to try to get some yardage. And he came out with a huge gain there just to give New Bedford better field position than what they had.
13 carries, 69 yards so far for New Bedford's tailback Rose. Jeff, track star of the year last year in New Bedford's standard times and continues to do the job on this football team this year.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rose, a track star, and he's showing it with his feet today on this field here where it's mud and rain drenched.
Second down and 3 now for New Bedford. New Bedford looking to get on the board here as they trail 6-0. Mike Walsh brings him out in the I formation, a wide out to the left and the right. And it is going to be Rose. Can Rose turn the corner? Well, he's going to be tripped up on the inside. As you see the tackle made by outside linebacker Bob Costa, the junior.
A nice short run there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, bouncing it out to the left side to pick up some yardage.
So he was not able to get into first down territory, so it's a 3rd down and 1. Still a pretty good situation for New Bedford's offense.
Yeah, you'd think now New Bedford with ball control so far from the back of the enemy territory to this side, so we'll have to see now how much they can progress. They're at the 30-yard line.
3rd down and 1 from the Durfee 28-yard line. Only 1:07 to go here in a half. Quarterback Mike Walsh brings them out. Man in motion is Fowland. Quick handoff is to Rose. No, it's a reverse the other way. He's going to pass. He throws toward the end zone, and it is batted away by the defensive backfield of Durfee. You see 2 gentlemen out there Mike Galante, number 14, and number 17, Bob Costa on the coverage.
Yeah, nice strategy there by the Whalers coaching staff. But, well covered there. Number 5, Keith Rudolph there in the end zone, by Durfee. So Durfee wasn't fooled there, but nice attempt there, a nice try there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose of New Bedford.
Well, the execution went well when our camera guy is faked out, and he's faked out, I'm faked out, a couple other guys out here faked out. That means you did a pretty good job on the play fake.
Yeah, nice play fake there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, but Durfee had number 5, Keith Rudolph, pretty well covered here in the end zone.
So the Whalers right now, 4th and 1 at the 28-yard line, only 52 seconds left. Really got to go ahead and get the first down. Oh, they lose the ball, and it is covered by number 96, Ken Faniff, but that's going to turn the ball over on downs to the Hilltoppers.
So New Bedford, all that work there to try to get down to enemy territory and going to have to turn it over now. So Durfee now gets another shot at it before the first half runs out with 49 seconds.
The coaches talked about it before the game. We talked about it before the game. The turnovers right there. You see New Bedford coming down the field, really moving the ball. I mean, they use the fullback. They use tailback rows. Durfee really didn't seem to have an answer for the runs. And all of a sudden on 4th and 1, after an interesting call there on 3rd down where they were really going for the jugular, the ball squirts out of the hands, and there goes the drive down the tubes.
Yeah, so far New Bedford was able to avoid a turnover there. Durfee has the only one of the game so far.
So right now, B.J. McDonald is going to kneel on the football, and that's going to be a smart call. I'll have to take one more knee, and we'll head into the half. Clearly a good call right here. 6-0, you have the lead in the 12-yard touchdown run by Tim Powers. No need to try anything crazy here as the clock winds out.
Yeah, you want to keep, New Bedford off the field and off the scoreboard, and so far Durfee's done that. So we'll have to see now going into the second half what Durfee's game plan will be, more of the same of the run, ball control, conservative.
So one more play from scrimmage, 20 seconds and counting, as the Hilltoppers' B.J. McDonald will take a knee right here. And we are going to go into the halftime locker room with the Durfee Hilltoppers leading the New Bedford Whalers 6-0. And Darren, your thoughts on the first half?
Pretty much what we thought, ball control offense and being conservative, pound the ball. Both teams, trying to pound the ball with a solid run game. Durfee with the early advantage with a 6-0 lead with Tim Powers running it in the end zone for a touchdown. So far, Durfee with the early advantage. Will New Bedford be able to capitalize? We'll have to see in the second half.
And again, the turnover is really the difference. That last time, New Bedford coming down the field and unable to execute on that very tough 4th down situation with the tough weather conditions.
Yeah, Durfee with the only turnover of the game today so far, and New Bedford, no turnovers, although they could have had one on that last one, but they were able to recover it. So we'll have to see now what their game plan will be going into the second half.
So at the end of the first half on the Tim Powers 12-yard touchdown run, it's the Durfee Hilltoppers 6 and the New Bedford Whalers nothing. Stand by, second half action straight ahead here on Comcast 9. We're moments away from the start of the second half, the Thanksgiving Day Classic between the Durfee Hilltoppers and the New Bedford Whalers. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell from Walsh Field in New Bedford. The Hilltoppers have a 6-0 lead on the 12-yard touchdown run by Tim Powers. Rushing the football is what we had there in the first half, pretty much, Darren, and the yards were hard to come by.
Yeah, Tim Powers with 5 carries for 55 yards, and Justin Bullia with 2 carries for 23 yards. So they pretty much, Durfee's running attack has been Powers and Bullia.
Meanwhile, on the other side, we had Rose, 14 carries for 71 yards. He's the guy that's carried the most, and he has the most yards.
Yeah, well, for New Bedford, Jeffrey Rose has had a good first half with running the ball with, like Paul said, 14 carries for 71 yards. So he's been pretty much their main weapon so far offensively today with the conditions the way they are.
each team with the same amount of first downs.
Yeah, each team have 4 first downs, and both teams have fumbled the ball once. Although Durfee's fumble is counting as 1, where New Bedford has no turnovers. Durfee has 1.
So the Whalers will be getting ready to kick off to start the second half. If you recall, the Durfee Hilltoppers head coach Steve Warnarski deferring. Carlos Fernandez kicking the ball off, gets by the Hilltoppers, goes all the way into the end zone, and it'll be down there. So actually that could have been worse for the Hilltoppers had it not made it all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, so Durfee will take it at the 20-yard line and work from there.
Well, Carlos Fernandez is a soccer player. They brought him in to do the kicking a few games into the season, and I think you could tell that he's a soccer player. Just booted that line drive, and it went right through the 2 deep players.
Yeah, he definitely has a leg, as you can see on that kickoff there, kicking it into the end zone. So Durfee will start off at the 20-yard line. We'll have to see the Whaler defense, how they prepare now for the second half, if they can try to stop Durfee.
So it'll be 1st and 10. B.J. McDonald brings them out. The Hilltoppers are in that wing T formation. Quick handoff to the interior. And there is absolutely nothing doing. Chris Swire, one of the tacklers for the New Bedford Whalers, along with number 69, Josh Nangai and Jim Francis. 2nd and 10, no gain.
So we'll have to see now, after the first possession there for Durfee with no gain, if they're able to get some yardage and try to get another score up here on the board.
6-0, the Hilltoppers lead as we are in the second half. Tim Powers with a 12-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. B.J. McDonald hands it off to Ponce, but it's reversed the other way. Fumble, and the New Bedford Whalers have recovered. It's a play that they called in the first half that worked successfully for a big gain, but it is going to be Keith Rudolph, it looks like, getting on that fumble, number 5.
So now Durfee now with 2 turnovers in the game to New Bedford 0. You know, that's already key, especially now when New Bedford takes over the ball now here at the 20-yard line of Durfee.
So that is a big, big break for New Bedford High School as they're all up on the near side of the field as the ball is at the 14-yard line. Big opportunity for the Whalers to respond to this 6-0 Durfee lead.
Yeah, we'll have to see now. New Bedford now with a golden opportunity here to try to go up and tie up the game. We'll have to see if that works out or not.
Quick handoff up the middle. That's going to be Jones, number 45, the fullback. Sat the first half into the second and has a minimal gain up the middle, gain of about 3 yards.
Well, nice run there by number 45, Mike Jones there, just try to get some yardage. We'll have to see now New Bedford trying to inch their way closer to the end zone.
So it's a 2nd down and 6. The ball is at the Durfee Hilltopper 10-yard line. Mike Jones, the fullback. Tailback is Rose, as you know. That's number 7, Mike Walsh. Mike Walsh, play action, rolling out to his left. He's going to keep the ball, and he is in for the touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run by quarterback Mike Walsh, and it is tied up at 6.
So a nice touchdown there, run there by number 7, Michael Walsh, the quarterback, rolling out to the left and getting into the end zone to tie up the score at 6.
So Walsh on the option, seeing the play in front of him, determining that he thought he could make it around the corner, and he just does squeak into the corner.
Now we'll have to see now going for the extra point or the 2-point conversion.
When the Durfee Hilltoppers went for their extra point, the snap was pretty good, but it was bobbled, and they couldn't get into the end zone. So now New Bedford has a chance to take the lead as Carlos Fernandez will be attempting the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. The Whalers take the lead, 7-6.
So the Whalers come out of the locker room in the halftime and go up 7-6 on Durfee. So we'll have to see now how Durfee responds now to this, now being down by 1 here at Walsh Field.
Well, after Durfee was unable to kick the ball for the extra point, the ball was actually taken by the holder, B.J. McDonald, and heaved into the end zone. And it was actually caught by Corey Albagaria, but because there was an ineligible man downfield penalty, they had to run that extra point play again, and they tried the extra point, but the ball had been pushed back so far that their kicker, Powers, wasn't able to get the ball through the uprights, and right now that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, New Bedford was able to get their extra point attempt good and through, so they go up 7-6 on Durfee. We'll have to see now what Durfee's game plan is now.
So we have a close contest here on Thanksgiving Day, and why not? The 113th meeting between Durfee and New Bedford on Thanksgiving Day. The turnovers have really been important. Both teams with a turnover in the first half, but Durfee fumbling the ball early in the second leads directly to that score. Carlos Fernandez kicking off from his own 40-yard line, puts an angle on it. It's going to be covered by Bulio at the 10-yard line, but he gets up and runs. He's at the 30, down to about the 34-yard line. We'll see whether or not they mark it down, but it's actually Bullier with a 14-yard return.
So a nice return there by number 24, Justin Bullier, just to give Durfee some better field position than what they would have had.
So 1st and 10. They will spot the ball at the 24-yard line as a result of the 14-yard return by number 24, Justin Bulio, and the Hilltoppers are back in business. Not the greatest field position, though, and they have to take good care of the football. Certainly can't have a turnover like they did the last time they had the ball. B.J. McDonald calling signals. It's going to be a handoff to the tailback. That's Tim Powers. Powers twisting and turning through that New Bedford Whaler defensive front. Eventually pulled down by a host of New Bedford tacklers, led by, look like number 93. And that's Mike Murrell.
Yeah, nice run there by number 11, Timmy Powers of Durfee, just to get some yardage out of it.
They'll give him a 7-yard gain on that. 2nd down and 3 from the 31-yard line. B.J. McDonald this time keeps on the option. Can he find some room? No, he's hit hard and just drilled by Keith Rudolph.
So New Bedford's defense coming to life there on that play with number 5, Keith Rudolph, giving the quarterback sack.
Keith Rudolph showing some speed, great penetration coming up from his corner position and putting a big stick on the Durfee running back.
Yeah, well, New Bedford scoring now to go up 7-6. We'll have to see now how much momentum this defense has now to try to stop Durfee. On that play, they had a good choice there with Keith Rudolph getting the quarterback sack to lose yardage.
So now it'll be a 3rd down and 6 from the 30-yard line. New Bedford 7 and Durfee 6 here in the third quarter. I formation, Corey Albigaria now setting up in the right tight end position. It's going to be a pitch back, and this is going to be Tim Powers again. Breaks a tackle and has a decent gain. Will be very close to the 1st down before he's eventually run out of bounds by Giovanni Nunez, the defensive back. But it is going to be a 1st down for the Hilltoppers, a very important 1st down.
Yeah, nice run there by Timmy Powers, just to go to the right side, get enough for the 1st down and move the chain.
Really broke a tackle originally and then stayed on his feet to get the 1st down. So it's 1st down and 10 for Durfee. Ball at their own 36-yard line. McDonald out of the I formation, and it's going to be the option of Powers again. Powers gets by a man. He's near the 1st down marker and more. Gains 12 yards and will eventually be hit by Mike Walsh in the defensive secondary. Also making the stop for New Bedford, Jim Francis, but a 12-yard gain and a 1st down for Powers.
And you can see why Durfee's offense runs so much better with Timmy Powers in it. There, you know, in a case like that, we just saw it with a nice big run there by number 11, Timmy Powers of Durfee.
Timmy Powers, the most talented of the running backs, I would say, for the Hilltoppers. They do, of course, use number 35, Cam Potts, as the fullback, and the other halfback is Justin Bulio. Justin Bulio is only a junior. They're going with the senior, Tim Powers, and it's worked for them so far. So it's 1st and 10. The ball at the New Bedford 49-yard line. It looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field by the Durfee Hilltoppers. A good timeout for their head coach, Steve Warnarski, as they certainly want to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, they want to keep this drive alive and give Timmy Powers some rest there on his last possession where he had a huge run.
Here you see the Durfee sideline, head coach Steve Winarski. He's the gentleman right in the middle of your screen in the black. And he's done a nice job here with the Hilltoppers this year. They have a 3-6 record, but really I think that record is deceiving. They've had some nice outings, and as we always say, a win here on Thanksgiving Day makes up for anything negative that may have happened during the course of the season.
Yeah, last game they played Dartmouth tough. Although they lost, but they played a good Dartmouth team tough.
Again, it's going to be Powers. Powers battling and twisting and trying to get past Chris Swire, number 44, and number 51, Dan Tripp.
Nice shot run there by number 11, Timmy Powers, up the middle there in that puddle there on the field there at the 50-yard line.
That section of the field was covered by a tarp for a while, but no matter what you do, a lot of action in the middle of the field. The water always seems to congregate right in the middle.
Yeah, that middle looks like it's been worn pretty well this year for this football season.
Next year, when the game is at the new stadium in Fall River, they will have a surface like we see at New Bedford Vogue, the artificial surface, so it won't be a problem. Cam Ponce, the fullback, gets the football, and he's deep into enemy territory. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. 49 yards, and Durfee is back on top.
Nice 49-yard run there by number 35, Cameron Ponce of Durfee. Runs right through the middle, and he was off to the races. New Bedford couldn't stop him. So Cameron Ponce there with a touchdown to give Durfee another lead now at 12-7.
So Cam Ponce, the fullback, gets the football from his fullback position and goes the distance. We're talking about all those runs by Powers, and Powers got the ball so many times. But when they did decide to give it to Ponce, Ponce said, hey, I'm going all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like New Bedford's defense was skied so much there on number 11, Timmy Powers, that they forgot about their other running backs, Justin Boulier and Cameron Ponce.
They're going for the two-point conversion. Here's the pass to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Nice coverage that time by Mike Walsh as they tried to get that two-point conversion, not successful.
Yeah, it went right off Timmy Powers' hands there to try to get the two-point conversion. They couldn't get it, so it'll remain 12-7 here at 6:12 to go here in the third quarter at Walsh Field.
Anytime you have weather conditions like this, deception becomes a big factor. They're running Powers over and over. You almost figure he's going to get the ball, and then very quickly, a quick hitter to the fullback. And once he got past the defensive line of New Bedford, he was gone.
Yeah, once he got past the middle there of the line there for Durfee, he was off to the races, and New Bedford was able to contain him, and he broke it for a touchdown. Nice 49-yard touchdown there by number 35, Cameron Ponce.
Durfee Hilltoppers with a Thanksgiving Day victory last year in a rainy day in Fall River. It really would be the first time in quite a long time that they've been able to win two in a row if they can't hang on here today. Of course, a lot of football yet to be played.
Yeah, we'll have to see how Durfee now comes back now with going up now 12-7 if their defense is able to contain New Bedford.
So the Hilltoppers will be kicking off from their own 40-yard line. You see number 11, Tim Powers. He has a touchdown run of his own back in the second quarter from 12 yards out. He and Cam Ponce, the scorers for Durfee. For New Bedford, the quarterback, Walsh. Line drive kick, bouncing down. It's going to be picked up by the Whalers. Keith Rudolph past the 25-yard line, gets down to about the 30. So the Whalers have decent field position under these circumstances. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice shot, gain there by number 5, Keith Rudolph, just to get some field position out of it. Now we'll have to see now how New Bedford's offense responds to this score.
This kind of game shortens the game, too, because you're running the ball a lot. You saw New Bedford in that second quarter. It took so much time for them to get in enemy territory, and really, they didn't get that fourth down, but it was really the time was hurting them.
Yeah, by running the ball, the game goes by quicker as the clock continues to wind each time you run the ball.
Handoff this time to Rose, and Rose gets tripped up. Looked like the eventual tackle was made by Robert Costa, but it was Tom Allen, number 75, that tripped him up.
Yeah, on that play, number 41, Jeffrey Rose, got tripped up and lost his balance and ended up getting just a few yards out of it.
So our cameraman, Phil Sabatino, getting nice and tight with these shots, which is actually helping us out here in the booth because we're actually seeing it better on the monitor sometimes than we are through the window that we're looking through. The window that we're looking through is just dripping wet. So it is going to be a 2nd down and 8 from the 32-yard line. That was St. Jean in motion, and the handoff is to Rose. Rose barreling over his line, and he's going to be pushed back. That's going to be a loss. And one of the gentlemen in there, inside linebacker Alex Menard for Durfee.
Yeah, so Durfee's defense coming more aggressive now after going up 12-7 on this next possession here of the Whalers by holding them so far, with no yardage or a small yardage at it.
So a big 3rd down situation here for the Whalers. The Durfee Hilltoppers lead by a score of 12-7. 4:50 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell along for the ride here on Comcast 9, the 113th Thanksgiving Day Classic between Durfee and New Bedford. So out comes Walsh. He has Faniff as the fullback, and of course Rose still the halfback. But Walsh dropping back to throw, trying to line up the pass. Goes deep, has a man, it's Rudolph at the 40, down to the 30-yard line. Great catch that time by Keith Rudolph, and a terrific pass by quarterback Mike Walsh.
Yeah, nice pass there by number 7, Michael Walsh, to number 5, Keith Rudolph, down the right sideline for a huge gain and gives New Bedford nice field position.
I'm going to say, about 38? Is that a 38-yard gain? Trying to do that quick math. But Walsh, cool as a cucumber, veteran senior quarterback, taking a couple of steps off to his right just to avoid that rush, and gave it down to Rudolph, who was a great hands receiver. Oh, loose ball this time. The ball is underneath the pile. We hear cheers coming from the other side. Let's see who has the football. It is going to be Whaler ball.
So the Whalers get it back there on the fumble there. It looks like New Bedford had fumbled it. Durfee looked like they had recovered it, but New Bedford did recover it, so New Bedford will keep it.
Well, this is where it gets dangerous, because when you're knocking on the door, you fumble a ball, take away an opportunity to get some points back up on the board. Durfee still with a 5-point lead, so a touchdown would give New Bedford the lead. So it's 2nd down and 10. If you're rooting for New Bedford, the good news for them is they still have the football. Walsh gives it to Rose, and Rose is going to be hauled down. That's still a pretty good gain right there for the talented New Bedford tailback.
Yeah, nice gain there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, just to get some yardage out of it and keep on pounding it towards the end zone of Durfee.
Jeff Rose is only a junior, 5'10", 175 pounds. Track athlete of the year, the Standard Times last year, and he'll be back in that lineup certainly next year as a senior. So it's 3rd down and 4. They are short of the 1st down. 3rd and 4, ball at the Durfee Hilltopper 23-yard line. Quarterback Walsh gives it to Rose again. Rose battling over left tackle. Eventually stopped by Robert Costa. It looks like he'll probably have enough for the 1st down, and some good blocking that time from number 64, Cam Robita, the offensive guard.
Yeah, nice run there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, to get closer and closer to that end zone to try to give the Whalers the lead again.
Number 68, Zach Chandonnaise, and 66, Chris Grande are in there grinding it out on the offensive line, helping New Bedford continue to keep this drive going. So it's 1st and 10 at the Durfee 20. 2:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter, 12-7 Durfee. Hand off to Rose. Jeff Rose loses his footing a little bit, but he does get an extra thrust over right tackle and gets a decent gain.
A nice gain there by...
Back in the I formation, and it's going to be St. Jean in motion. Quick hitter to Rose. And Rose is going to be stacked up right there at the line of scrimmage and brought down immediately. That was pretty good tackle that time by Alex Souza and Jonathan Sanchez of Durfee.
So Durfee doing their best to try to contain New Bedford and keep them out of the end zone by knowing what New Bedford's game plan will be, probably running the ball right now, in which they are.
So with the no gain, it sets up a 3rd down and 5 for New Bedford at the Durfee 15-yard line. Durfee right now hanging on to a 12-7 lead. And if New Bedford can get into the end zone, they would take the lead back. It's been a real battle here between Durfee and New Bedford on this soaked field. Walsh, play action. He's rolling to his right, looking to pass, goes to the end zone. Does he have him in? It's caught, and it's a touchdown. Greg Heilkut, number 95.
Nice catch there by number 95, Greg Heilkut. Nice pass there by number 7, Michael Walsh, to get the touchdown to number 95 for New Bedford, and they go up now. They tie it up 12-12. They would go up with the extra point. It's now 13-12.
Greg Heilkut pulls that ball in, and what a nice execution by New Bedford.
Yeah, nice execution there by New Bedford. 13-12 now. New Bedford with the lead, and number 10 for New Bedford, Carlos Fernandez, will look like to kick the extra point to give them a 14-12 lead.
So as was stated, Carlos Fernandez, he can't get the kick off as it was bobbled by the holder, and Mike Farland just losing his ability to hold that ball. Understandable under the circumstances, but New Bedford has a 13-12 lead.
So this game so far in the second half has gone back and forth between Durfee scoring, New Bedford scoring. Now New Bedford scores again to go up 13-12. So now we'll have to see now how Durfee's offense comes out now.
Well, we're not happy that the weather conditions are what they are, but as far as quality of the football game, I think the people that are out here today, and hopefully folks that are tuning into our telecast, are enjoying this game. Anytime you have a 13-12 game heading into the fourth quarter, which is what it's going to be in just a moment, that's what you want, a nice tight battle.
Yeah, we didn't think we'd see these many points today with the weather conditions the way they are. And, so far we've been delighted with the score at 13-12 here, with so far a lot of points being scored by both teams.
So with 27 seconds left here in the third quarter, it's 13-12 New Bedford. New Bedford will be kicking the ball off to Durfee. Once again, it's going to be number 10, Carlos Fernandez, getting ready to kick from his own 40-yard line. The Hilltoppers back deep, lined up at about their own 10-yard line. All these players covered in mud as the rain continues to fall here at Walsh Field. Tim Powers is one of the deep men for the Hilltoppers, as you would expect. The talented tailback. And here's the kick by Fernandez. Ball bounding down, gets right by the Hilltopper players, and it's going to be returned for about 10 yards, and there is going to be a flag on a play. That was Bulio who had the football, and he was hit by, I think it was Peter Baptiste in there.
Yeah, nice return there by number 24, Justin Bullia, just to get some yardage out of it after the misstep with the ball. Now we'll see now what Durfee's offense will do now, being down 13-12. And there is a flag. It's a face mask against New Bedford. So a face masking penalty will give Durfee even better field position than what they already had.
So that moves the ball ahead for the Hilltoppers. And they will take over 1st and 10 now at the 38-yard line. New Bedford 13, Durfee 12. Very exciting game here at Walsh Field. So B.J. McDonald brings them out. The Hilltoppers have 2 wideouts. And it is going to be kept and pitched out to Powers. And Powers is going to be knocked down, fumble, and it is going to be covered by the Whalers. Jim Francis on the coverage for New Bedford.
So another turnover for Durfee, and New Bedford recovers it now with field position now at the 30-something yard line. So nice play there by New Bedford's defense to come up with a loose ball.
Well, it was a huge hit in the backfield, and then Jim Francis, number 63, the junior, very alert to dive on that loose football, and we talked about it all game, the turnovers. New Bedford just took the lead, and now they have the ball deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, the turnovers have killed teams' drives before, and so far this drive Durfee was going to make is killed now by a turnover, so New Bedford will take over now with good field position to try to go up more.
The ball is at the Durfee Hilltopper 38-yard line. New Bedford looking to add more as they bring him out. Ken Faniff is the fullback. Man in motion right there is St. Jean. Of course, the halfback is Jeff Rose. This time it's the fullback, and that is Ken Faniff. Gets to the line of scrimmage, not much more of that time. As time runs out here in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, New Bedford 13 and Durfee 12, and you see on the near sideline, Whalers have been doing this all year. They try to get everyone pumped up for the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter seems like when the Whalers score, but today they've scored earlier than the fourth quarter, so now we'll have to see how New Bedford's scoring goes in the fourth quarter.
See some of the players holding up 4 fingers for the fourth quarter cheer. Doesn't mean you don't play hard for the first 3, but what it means is, hey, one more quarter, you have the lead, crank it up, and try to get into the win column here on this Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, we'll have to see. There you see Coach Golden there with New Bedford on the sideline there, trying to get them all on the same page to try to convert and try to get another touchdown here on the board or a field goal to try to get more points to give this somewhat of a bigger lead than what you have now by 1 point.
Coach Golden, as you see right in the middle of your screen, always has that card hanging from his waist with some information, and today sporting the stocking cap. He's in there talking to his team as the Whalers are out in front 13-12 by 1 as we start the fourth quarter. The only score of the first half was the Tim Powers touchdown run, make it 6-0, but then in the third quarter we had 3 scores. 10-yard touchdown run by Walsh, a kick by Fernandez, 49-yard touchdown run by Cam Ponce of Durfee to give them the lead. Then the Whalers coming back to take the lead 13-12 on a 15-yard touchdown pass from Walsh to Greg Heilkert. 13-12 New Bedford as we head into the fourth.
Yeah, this has been a seesaw game back and forth here in the second half with both teams scoring, and now New Bedford's got it again now for a chance to go even more ahead.
So 2nd and 7 for the New Bedford Whalers. Walsh hands it off to Rose. Rose past the 30. Continues to move his legs, but he's knocked down at about the 28-yard line. Nice hit by outside linebacker Bob Costa. He's a junior, 5'11", 155.
So nice run there by number 41, Jeffrey Rose, to get some yardage there, bouncing out to the right side.
Rose now with 91 yards so far today, and he's certainly poised to crack the 100 yards rushing before we wrap it up here on Thanksgiving Day. Didn't get the first down there. 3rd and 4 for New Bedford at the enemy 26. Split backfield this time. Faniff in motion. And a quick handoff to Rose, and Rose is going to be pulled down. Nice job on the tackle right there. That's Springer that time. A muddy shirt there, but it was it was Jason Springer. He's a 6', 210-pound senior for the Hilltoppers.
So number 41, Jeffrey Rose, ran right into the middle and got stopped. So that'll hurt his yardage as he has 91, but you figure a loss of 2 yards there will put him back now to 89.
Saw a moment ago number 93 in the backfield, and that's Mike Murrell, who is generally a defensive lineman, but they had him in there at the fullback position on that particular snap. But right now the Whalers have a 4th down and 3 from the Durfee 26. Certainly 4-down territory. They'll be going for it. Big moment in the game. Does New Bedford keep the drive alive to add more? Does Durfee get the football back? Split backfield. Man in motion is Matt St. Jean. Walsh rolling out, looking like he might pass the football. He throws, and it is incomplete. Keith Rudolph was down there as a potential receiver, but he's not able to connect up with him, and the Hilltoppers take over on downs.
Yeah, nice attempt there by Michael Walsh there, running to the right to try to hook up with number 5, Keith Rudolph. He was unable to, but nice attempt there anyway.
9 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. New Bedford 13, Durfee 12. And Durfee now with an opportunity to come back down the field and see if they can get the lead back, as there has been exchanges in the lead during the course of that third quarter.
Yeah, both teams have had a seesaw battle here in the second half with both teams scoring. Now, New Bedford had a chance on that last possession to score. They couldn't. Now Durfee will have a chance. We'll see what they can do.
1st and 10 for Durfee. They're at their own 26-yard line. Quarterback is B.J. McDonald. You see him there calling signals. Offset eye. Pitch that time, Tim Powers. Tim Powers looking to turn the corner, and he is going to be brought down after a gain of about 5 yards. Let's see, Giovanni Nunez, the defensive back, coming around to make the stop around the corner.
You would think Timmy Powers wants to try to make up for the fumble that he had on the last possession, so you would think that he would come out here now with more fire now to try to get
Well, Durfee had the lead originally, then New Bedford had the lead, then Durfee got the lead back, and then New Bedford got the lead back. So back and forth we go, and that makes for an exciting high school football contest. So the Hilltoppers bringing them out. It'll be a 2nd down and 5 from the 31-yard line. We have a split backfield. Wing T, man in motion behind the quarterback. And it's a quick hitter up the middle on the counter, and that's Powers. Powers continuing to move his legs. He loses the football, and New Bedford has it. Tough break for the Hilltoppers as New Bedford gets the ball back on another turnover.
So it looked like his motion, Timmy Powers' motion was stopped, but apparently not, as another fumble there by Timmy Powers of Durfee, and New Bedford will get it again with good field position.
See number 66 there, Christopher Grande.
Number 66, Christopher Grande, came up with that fumble. So New Bedford now will have the ball now at good field position on Durfee's enemy territory.
Beginning of the year, head coach Dennis Golden calling Grande perhaps the best player on the team. He's always involved in every play on both sides of the football, and that time getting in there and wreaking havoc. Really, the Durfee running back was turning the legs, doing everything right, but the ball just came loose.
Yeah, Durfee now with Butterfingers now with the football there, with tossing up the ball on the last 2 occasions. So we'll have to see now if New Bedford can capitalize.
Quick handoff to Jeff Rose. Not really anything happening on the inside that time. Basically gets back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like Springer in there to make the stop for the Durfee Hilltoppers, so that's a no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rose stopped there going up the middle, number 41 of New Bedford. So we'll have to see now with Durfee now if they can stop New Bedford now after giving up another turnover on their possession.
Powers looked like he may have been banged up, which is not good news for the Hilltoppers. You see head coach Steve Winarski, top of your screen, directing traffic a little bit on the sidelines. So they're actually going to give him 1 yard on that. We'll call it officially as a 2nd down and 9. I formation, and it's a quick pitch that time to Rose again, see if they can get him to the outside. And he'll be hauled down by Springer again. It does get a little bit of a gain, maybe 5 yards or so. That'll set up a 3rd down for New Bedford.
So a nice short yard, 5-yard gain there for number 41, Jeffrey Rose, bouncing out to the right side.
So 3rd down and 5 now for New Bedford. And obviously a big point in the ball game. New Bedford in enemy territory, now down to 6:51 and counting here in the game. If New Bedford can get a 1st down, they can get another score, try to create a 2-score type game. I mean, they only have a 1-point lead. So to get a two-score game, you'd have to get the touchdown and then get the 2-point conversion. So we'll see what happens. It's 3rd down and 5. Man in motion is Murrell on a power eye. It's a handoff to Rose. Rose trying to fake left and right. He's going to be stopped by Corey Albigaria and Manuel Galante. And we have a timeout.
And there's flags
Flag,
there.
too. Could be a face mask.
So Durfee could be losing their composure a little with could be another face mask penalty against Durfee. Will give New Bedford a 1st down.
And that is a huge, huge penalty for the Durfee Hilltoppers, working so hard to hold the Whalers to that 3rd down situation. And right there, it gives New Bedford the 1st down, and they're deeper and deeper into enemy territory.
So face mask there gives New Bedford now better field position than what they had. Gives them a 1st down, and Durfee keeps their defense on the field again.
Looking ahead just a little bit, if New Bedford is able to get into the end zone, the 2-point conversion is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you go for the 2-point or do you go for the extra point? They had success with the 2-point conversion earlier, but it was called back because of a legal man downfield. So we'll have to see if they do that again or if they go for the field goal this time.
Thing is, the 2-point conversion makes it a 2-possession game. So here they come. The Whalers right now in a full house, and it's going to be Faniff straight up the middle. just can't get any kind of momentum. You see the Whalers offensive tackle, Josh Ngia, just moving his legs, trying to help that forward thrust, but it's going to be no gain.
Yeah, New Bedford's offensive line, they're trying to push Durfee's defensive line back, trying to get some yardage up the middle, but Durfee's defense has held tough so far. We'll have to see if they can continue on this drive.
Sometimes they say bend but don't break. That's what they're trying to do here, as it's a second down and about 10 for the New Bedford Whalers. 5:23 and counting. Out comes quarterback Mike Walsh. Play action. He's going to roll right. He's looking downfield. He throws, and it is intercepted by the Hilltoppers, and he steps out of bounds, and he gets hit after the play. It appears to be number, is that 84 or 64? It looks like Alex Menard, the inside linebacker. But Durfee does get the football. Now there's a discussion in the middle of the field. That's a huge turnover. And Durfee has the football, keeps New Bedford off the board. 5:06 to go, a chance to come down the field.
Yeah, huge turnover there for New Bedford. What was Michael Walsh thinking? Rolling to the right and throwing the ball. You know, in a situation like this where the field is like this, you know, you don't want to make turnovers, especially where you're at the enemy territory. So right now, Durfee, you know,
so
takes
a chance
over
now for the
with another
Hilltoppers
chance.
and the New Bedford Whaler defense. Quick handoff that time, Tim Powers. Tim Powers is tripped up. He did have a halfway decent gain, but number 82 for New Bedford, Giovanni Nunez, the defensive back, the junior, got in there and put a pretty good hit that time on Powers, holding him to only a 2-yard gain when it looked like it was going to be more.
So Coach Winowski's showing confidence going with Tim Powers again. You know, after fumbling twice, showing that he has not lost confidence in one of his number one running backs, number 11, Timmy Powers.
Tim Powers has a 12-yard touchdown run to his credit. It was the only score of the first half. And a 49-yard touchdown run by the fullback, Cam Ponce. Those are the two scores for Durfee. So it's second down and 7. The ball is at the Durfee 18-yard line. 4:20 to play in the football game. B.J. McDonald loses the football, still pitches it back anyway, and he's going to throw. And it is incomplete. Tim Powers lofting the ball downfield as he was looking for Corey Albagaria. So that was a nice job that time, picking up the football and pitching it back for the pass.
Yeah, nice job there by B.J. McDonald to pitch the ball back to try to get it to number 80 down the field. Albagaria, unfortunately, was out of his reach. So now Durfee will call a timeout, and we'll have to see what they come out with now.
That would have been an incredible play had it worked. I mean, they did get the ball to the halfback, and he put it up there, and he had Albagaria really behind the New Bedford secondary. But, you know, with these conditions, the ball's just kind of floating in the air and was just a little bit overthrown. Take a look at that Durfee Hilltopper sideline right now. Coach Winarski with his back to us with the Durfee football in the back, getting set to make a decision as to what the play is going to be here. It's a 3rd down and 7. Ball's on the 18-yard line, so Durfee really going to have to get a first down here, and then if they don't get the first down with 4 minutes to go, they're going to have to make a decision what they do then. But first things first, they have to get the first down on a 3rd and 7 from the 18. B.J. McDonald pitches it out, and it's a reverse the other way. This is Bulio coming to the near side of the field. He has room, and he has a first down. Nice job that time on the reverse as he comes the other way and carries to the 45-yard line.
So that timeout was successful by Durfee's coaching staff and Coach Winowski there, coming up with a trick play and giving it to Bullia, who ran the reverse to the left side of the field, get a huge gain, and gives Durfee the field position battle back.
Well, that changes a lot right here as the Durfee Hilltoppers are back in business. It was really a play that had to happen for them to stay alive.
Yeah, they needed that to convert on 3rd and 7. They did with a huge play by number 24, Justin Bullia. And now Durfee has a chance to try to get up with New Bedford again.
McDonald pitches back. It looked like Powers was going to try to do something with the ball, but he's going to be swarmed under, beginning with number 5, Keith Rudolph.
Yeah, Timmy Powers on that play, you know, was going to throw it. Then he had no chance, but he had to decide to run the ball because of the fact that he was getting swarmed under on the right sideline there of the Wheeler defense.
kind of an interesting call there. It looked like Powers was going to heave that one down, but at least it looked that way to me. But whether he was or not, he got stuck so far behind the line of scrimmage. That was a tough time to have a loss of 5.
Yeah, especially now where you're down by 1, you're trying to get the score before the time runs out with 2:50 something left in the second half in the fourth quarter.
Split backfield this time behind McDonald. McDonald rolling to his left. He's going to throw the ball. He has a man, and it is caught. Great catch that time by Nick Dodonna, the 5'11", 160-pound senior in the rain, bringing that ball in.
A nice play there by B.J. McDonald there, rolling out to the left and hitting number 13, Nick Dodonna, on the left sideline for a nice gain there to give Durfee better field position.
We talked about how difficult it is to pass the ball in these conditions. A great job by the quarterback, McDonald, to roll to his left and get that ball downfield.
Yeah, nice job by the quarterbacks for both teams today, by Michael Walsh of New Bedford, and especially there, B.J. McDonald of Durfee, to try to complete it with the windy conditions and the rain.
So we have some drama in the closing minutes. 2:26 to play. 1st and 10. And we have a timeout on the field by the New Bedford Whalers. So you see them coming to the near sideline. Head coach Dennis Golden, who's looking towards us right now. And he's going to have a conversation with his team. Great situation here. New Bedford leading 13-12, 2:24 to go in the game. And Durfee with a 1st and 10 at the New Bedford 35-yard line.
Yeah, these fans that came back for both sides, for Durfee and New Bedford, really can't ask for more than this. 13-12 with Durfee trying to get a chance to go ahead and New Bedford trying to hold them to try to keep the win.
It's been a very entertaining football game, as we said. Durfee getting a 12-yard touchdown run by Tim Powers to take a 6-0 lead into the halftime locker room. There you see the Hilltoppers there on the sideline, led by head coach Steve Wynarski. Then New Bedford took a 7-6 lead on a 10-yard touchdown run by quarterback Walsh and a extra point kick by Carlos Fernandez. Durfee then got the lead back on a 49-yard touchdown run by Cam Ponce to make it 12-7. And then New Bedford came back and took the lead, a 15-yard touchdown pass from Walsh to Greg Heilkert to make it 13-12. And now Durfee trying to get it back again. So it's 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers at the New Bedford 35-yard line. 2:24 to play in the contest. B.J. McDonald pitches it back. It's going to be Powers. Powers turning the corner at the 40, the 35, and he's going to be hauled out of bounds. One of the tacklers for New Bedford, Chris Swire, pursuing his man out of bounds. So it'll be a gain of about 7 or 8 yards.
And by doing this by Durfee, by ball control here in the fourth quarter here with under 2 minutes now, you know, it's given Durfee time with the ball and New Bedford less time to try to come back in this game.
Check that, gain of about 3, as it is going to be a 2nd down and 7. Ball now at the 32-yard line. McDonald hands it off to Ponce. Ponce has room up the middle. He's going to go the distance. Touchdown, Durfee. 32 yards, just like before, and Durfee has the lead back.
So Durfee there, nice run there up the middle there by number 35, Cameron Ponce, right up the middle. New Bedford, no defense in sight, and he goes up and gives Durfee the lead again at 16-13.
Well, we saw that happen earlier on in the third quarter when Ponce had a 49-yard touchdown run. This time, after giving it to Powers repeatedly, they give it to the fullback, and you see Cam just turning on the jets and getting past the defensive line, and that's all she wrote.
So Ponce with 2 big runs here in the second half, you know, to give Durfee touchdown leads. And I mean, Cameron Ponce now with the second, they're going to go for the 2-point conversion.
18-13 as they try the 2. The other way it comes. And this is going to be a successful 2-point conversion. And I believe that's Bulio. Justin Bulio. And it's 20-13 Durfee.
So nice 2-point conversion there by number 20, Justin Bulio, to give them the 2-point conversion and give Durfee the lead at 20-13 here at Walsh Field. So New Bedford will have the ball with 1:37 left to try to tie the game. If they can, Durfee will have another win here.
Well, that was really a terrific drive by the Durfee Hilltoppers. You had that long pass play, and then you had the big run by Cam Ponce, who has 2 touchdowns today. You see that Durfee Hilltopper crowd, the ones that are braving the conditions, enjoying that last drive by the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, 2 good runs there by number 35, Cameron Ponce, up the middle here in the second half. Has given Durfee the lead now at 20-13.
8 carries, 91 yards rushing up to this point for Cam Ponce, and really a terrific drive by Durfee.
So 8 carries now, 91 yards for Cameron Ponce of Durfee. So he's had a good game here on Thanksgiving. As it is Thanksgiving Day here at Walsh Field, and people are getting ready to go home for the turkey with 1:37 left.
Still a little bit more excitement, hopefully, before that. You look back at that drive. Remember that catch by Nick Dodonna? That was the big play in that drive.
Yeah, that catch there by Nick Dodonna kept the drive going for Durfee and gave them a chance to score to make it 20-13.
Powers kicking the ball off, and it bounces right off of number 65, Sean Antunes, and he covers it right away. That ball, had it not been covered by Antunes, could have provided Durfee with coverage.
Yeah, number 65 got covered there. Mud right in the eyes when he fell down in the pile there. He's getting brushed off now on the sideline there by the Wheeler coaches, trying to get the mud out of his eyes with that water, with the ball going in there.
But how about that? Look at the field position that the New Bedford Whalers have now.
I mean, what a mistake there by Durfee, kicking the ball off there and gives it to New Bedford with a 50-yard line. And New Bedford with a chance to score with more than enough time, 1:36 left.
And the ball is spotted at the 48-yard line, New Bedford's own 48. Walsh dropping back on first down, looking to pass. Throws, and it is caught. A reception by Matt St. Jean at about the 43-yard line. So that'll be a significant gain of about 7 or so, and it'll set up a second down and short.
So a nice rollout there by number 7, Michael Walsh, to hook up with number 3, Matthew St. Jean, on the right sideline there for a completion.
So the Whalers with a nice gain that time on the reception to St. Jean. It is going to be a timeout on the field.
There you see Coach Golden on the sideline with his offensive unit trying to come up with a play that keeps this drive going with 1:28 left here in the fourth quarter with Durfee ahead 20-13.
So head coach Dennis Golden calling that timeout, having a conversation in the huddle. He's hoping to put together a Thanksgiving Day winning drive, but it's not going to be easy. They need 8 points to take the lead. They need a touchdown to make it 20-19, and then you have the big decision going for 2 for the win. But of course, let's worry about he's going to have to worry about getting the touchdown first.
Yeah, we'll have to see how New Bedford's offense comes out now, if they're going to go with the no-huddle attack and Michael Walsh out of the gun or under center rolling it to try to get open people like he had on that last one to number 3, Matthew St. Jean.
So it's Durfee 20 and New Bedford 13. 1 minute, 28 seconds left in the game. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell along for the ride with you on Comcast 9. Very entertaining football game it has been as the lead is exchanged back and forth 5 times.
Yeah, very seesaw battle here in the second half with both teams scoring. And now New Bedford now a chance to score again.
Great situation to be in the second and short. And it's going to be Walsh keeping. He has a hole. And Walsh has the first down easily inside the 40-yard line. Clock continuing to run, though. They're going to move the change, which will stop it for the moment. So now a no-huddle offense. They haven't set the ball yet, so the clock is stopped temporarily with 1:22 to go. Here we go, clock running now, 1:20, 1:19 and counting. First down and 10 at the Durfee 36. Walsh calling signals, rolling out to his left this time. Looking to make a play, throws, and it's going to be incomplete. The ball well short of his intended receiver, Matthew St. Jean. It does stop the clock, though. Second and 10 at the 36, 1:10 to play.
So Michael Walsh there rolling to the left, trying to hook up with number 3, Matthew St. Jean. Was unable to, so now New Bedford will have the ball now with second down and 10 at the 36-yard line with 1:10 left.
See, as the game has gone on, the teams have gone to more of the passing plays and have been pretty good about executing them for the most part, even though it's difficult conditions here with the weather.
Yeah, both quarterbacks have done a good job with the weather conditions, with the wind and the rain, and able to hook up with some receivers to get some completion. So, so good luck to them.
Durfee leading 20-13. New Bedford with the ball. 2nd and 10 from the 36. Ball skirts loose. Walsh still has the wherewithal to pick it up, and he throws it to the sideline, incomplete. So that's a very good play there by Walsh. Manages to go back and pick the ball up, which was about 5 yards behind him, and heaves it to the sideline to stop the clock, make it 3rd and 10, 1:02 to play.
Yeah, nice play there by Mike Walsh to recover the ball and throw it out of bounds to avoid a sack and avoid loss of more yardage than what they have now.
Head coach Dennis Golden chatting with his senior quarterback, and also you see Keith Rudolph, another senior, on the sideline along with Coach Golden. Tough situation here now as it's a 3rd down and 10, but both teams have been able to come up with a big play at the big time, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see now how New Bedford's offense now comes out. Now Michael
Really
Walsh,
coming
who his
out.
targets are going to be.
3 wide receivers. 3rd down and 10. Walsh rolling back, looking to pass, gets the ball in the air, and it's going to be incomplete. It was almost intercepted in a way. I mean, not that close to an interception, but outside linebacker Robert Costa was the closest guy to the ball.
And then you see Coach Winoski there on the sideline for Durfee celebrate after that last play. And there he is now.
You see head coach Steve Wynarski appears to be pretty pumped up right there, Darren, as he wants this Durfee defense to make one last stand and close this game out.
Yeah, now one last attempt now for New Bedford with 4th and 10. Will Durfee's defense be able to hold? So far they've held for the first 3. Now can they make it one more time?
55 seconds left in the football game. And really, the conditions have really hurt New Bedford. They got into Durfee territory, but then a couple of broken plays have really helped the Durfee Hilltoppers to get into this 4th down and 10 situation.
Yeah, it's really stopped New Bedford's progress with some of the last few plays that we saw. So we'll have to see now if Durfee's defense can hold for one more time.
Hilltopper fans on the far side of the field trying to whip up that Hilltopper defense. Meanwhile, the Whalers on this side hoping they can put together a 10-yard gain to keep their hopes of a Thanksgiving Day win alive. Not the situation you want to be in, especially when you need 10 yards. That's tough.
Yeah, 10 yards is a lot to get, especially now with 4th down approaching. And we'll have to see what Michael Walsh and the New Bedford offense calls up for this one.
Again, 3 wideouts for Walsh. Walsh is rolling to his right, looking to make a pass. He throws it downfield, and it is going to be incomplete. And Durfee takes over on downs.
So Durfee will take over now on downs, and chance now just to run out the clock and give Durfee the win at 20-13.
So only 47 seconds to go in the game. The Whalers have enough timeouts to continually stop the clock, but it's going to have to be 3 and out very quickly, and the chances of them really having any chance after that are slim.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Durfee now, main goal now is just to run out the clock with some kneel downs and some running of the ball with 47 seconds left, and Durfee had 20-13. And New Bedford needs like a key turnover right now. So with this wet field, you never know if the ball will slip out of Durfee's hands.
That's right. If you're Durfee, your main thing right here is just take care of the football, which may be easier said than done. The ball almost came loose there for a second, but B.J. McDonald ended up falling on the football. Only a few seconds off the clock, 43 seconds to go. And wow, I mean, just trying to hold on to the football so you can get into the win column here.
Yeah, that's the main thing now for Durfee is with Coach Winoski's staff telling his players, hold on to the ball, do whatever you have to hold on to the ball. You don't want to give New Bedford a chance here before the clock runs out.
If the Hilltoppers can hang on, it'll be their second Thanksgiving Day win in a row. They won last year in Fall River, and that would be a big accomplishment for head coach Steve Wynarski and this Hilltopper team.
Yeah, we'll have to see now how Durfee now, if they are able to hold on to the ball and close this one out and give Durfee another win here at Walsh Field.
So here we go. Full house backfield. Quick handoff. He's actually running the ball around the side, and he is tackled. Picked up about 5 or 6 yards on the play, and there is going to be a timeout called.
So a timeout has been called with 32 seconds left, and Durfee there with Timmy Powers running it to the right sideline. And there you see Coach Winoski there on the field.
Creates up a 3rd down and 4 situation right now with the ball up at about the 42-yard line. So one more play, if New Bedford can call timeout, they may get the ball one more time, but if Durfee can just execute anything decent here and get a halfway decent punt off, the Whalers will be in their own territory with very little time.
Yeah, New Bedford has one last chance, as Paul was saying, but if Durfee capitalizes here and has a good punt, this might be it.
Durfee leading New Bedford 20-13, 32 seconds left in the contest. It's been an entertaining Thanksgiving Day game despite the weather conditions.
Yeah, I mean, these fans can't ask for anything more with the score 20-13 with the points that have been scored with the weather conditions the way they are.
So out comes B.J. McDonald and that Durfee offense one more time. See if they're able to convert on the 3rd and 4. And if they have to punt, execute it well. Full house. Hand off to Powers. Powers, he's going to be tackled and basically swarmed under as Kenneth Faniff gets in there to make the tackle. There is a timeout for New Bedford with 26 seconds left.
So now if you're New Bedford now, you want to try to block the punt of Durfee and try to get it with a good field position at the 50-yard line or so. You don't want to go too far back because with 20 seconds left, you don't have too much time to run some plays off.
You saw Durfee before with that kind of free kick punt formation before. I don't know if they're going to do that now, but this is really a difficult situation trying to execute a punt. I mean, so much can happen. There's the snap, there's the kicker trying to handle it, trying to get the kick away. If they can just get the ball over the 50-yard line and into New Bedford territory, that's all you really want to do right here.
Yeah, Durfee knows they're going to have good protection now because they know New Bedford's going to be coming after this with everything to try to get the ball back in good field position.
So here we go. Looks like B.J. McDonald is going to take the snap, and he's going to pitch it back to Powers. Powers kicks a line drive. It almost got blocked, and it's going to be picked up at the 40-yard line by Rose, actually the 30. Now he's at the 40, and Rose is down to the 40-yard line. Only 14 seconds left in the contest.
So New Bedford now with 14 seconds left will have one last try at it to try to score and tie up the game.
Just barely able to get that ball off by the punt. You see some discussion going on with the officials, but Powers was able to get it through about 2 or 3 would-be blockers, which was big.
Yeah, the referees are conferring now, but it seems like this call will stand.
It is going to be running into the kicker. It's a 5-yard penalty. And that's going to give the Durfee Hilltoppers a first down, which is going to finish New Bedford off.
Yeah, a mistake there by New Bedford there running into the kicker. So now Durfee will just run out the clock now with the kneel downs.
So that was an unfortunate play right there. You see head coach Dennis Golden talking to the official about the call. Does not appear that the official is going to be swayed.
Since that's all like a lot of confusion there between Dennis Golden, the coach of the Whalers, and the referee, he's displeased with the call, and the call is going to stand with Durfee having the ball.
So it's a 1st and 10 for Durfee. All they have to do right now is fall on the football with the 5-yard penalty. They get the first down. They take the knee, and time is going to run out. The Durfee Hilltoppers defeat the New Bedford Whalers by a score of 20-13 to win their 2nd straight Thanksgiving Day game. And there you see the celebration.
Nice win here for Durfee at Walsh Field, 20-13 over New Bedford Whalers. Now, some of these Whalers will go on to a college, some of the seniors, and some of the seniors for Durfee will go on, and some of them may be going to the Whaling City Clippers, which is a football program here in New Bedford.
So the final score again, 20-13, Durfee. Stand by for some post-game activities in just a moment. Back here at New Bedford High School, the Durfee Hilltoppers pulling out a very exciting win over New Bedford here on Thanksgiving Day 2006. Paul Santos and Darren Mitchell, along with a celebrating senior here, Tim Powers. Tim, congratulations. Great game today, back and forth all day. How did you guys pull it out at the end?
I mean, Coach told us just keep our heads up. I mean, myself included, I made a couple mistakes. The whole entire team made a couple mistakes. The whole entire team didn't let me get down on myself, though. So we just came through. We knew we were going to score if we got the ball back, and exactly that's what happened. With 2 minutes left, we scored.
Yeah, Tim, you ran the ball well today. It's a nice job to you and a nice win.
Thank you very much. Coach told us before the game, watch for the turnovers, watch for the turnovers. They have it on both sides of the ball, so I guess we just got lucky at the end and pulled one out.
Yeah, the field right here was standing pretty much in mud, and you guys were still able to get around the outside, take care of the football. It wasn't easy to do all day.
No, I mean, the key to stuff like this is just take short, choppy steps, no strides or anything like that. You got to keep your feet. You can't leave your feet for anything and try to jump over anybody. You got to keep your feet the whole entire time. I mean, we got lucky passing the ball too. That got us down here because they knew we were going to run the ball as much as we did. So I'm happy.
You had a few fumbles earlier, but you made up for it with a win today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I mean by saying the team pick each other's up too. I mean, I fumbled the ball. Once the other guy stepped it up, so that's what family's all about.
Okay, we're joined now by the head coach, Steve Winarski, and boy, that was a great game to watch. I know we had the mud and the rain, but the lead changes back and forth. What excitement!
You know, New Bedford credit, they're battling just like we are. We get junkyard dogs, and we saw the field and conditions. We said it's a great day for football today, and our kids, showed that it was going to be a great day for football. And we had 3 turnovers in that, and we overcome some adversity all year, and I think maybe that was what the plan was supposed to be today. Overcome adversity one last time for these seniors, because they're a good group of seniors, and I take my hat off to our seniors. They worked hard in the off season and through the season, and playing every game on the road. For those kids that they're sacrificing their career here at Durfee, and this last year was unsurmountable, and they just it was a good win for them kids today. And I'm glad that they came on the top today for our seniors.
All right, that's head coach Steve Winarski. That's the final score. It is Durfee 20 and New Bedford 13. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our cameraman Phil Sabatino, our editor Paul Duddy, and for my partner Darren Mitchell. I'm Paul Santos. Thank you for watching, and good night from New Bedford.